चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय जयतां सुतपङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिगति मत्सर्वस्वदाम्बुजो श्रीराधा मदनमोहन। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। All together. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Very auspicious day. Actually 3 days in row is very auspicious. Today we have appearance in Shri Gadadhar Pandit and also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And tomorrow is Gundicha Mandir, cleaning of Gundicha temple. And day after is Rath Yatra, the chariot festival, the world famous chariot festival. So much to say, time is very short. Not going into details, but Gaur Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayati. We can understand Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the founder of Gaudiya Math, actually. Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj used to say, who is the founder of our Gaudiya Math? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who established Gauranam, Gauradham and Gaurakam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's name was Kedarnath Tat, and his birth is in Nadia district. Sometimes when we go Navadvip Parikrama, couple of devotees, we used to go and see this birthplace of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Now I'm a little confused from where to start with, because there are unlimited glories of this great personality. Today, what we are hearing, these beautiful songs, and this in-depth philosophy of Gaudiya, we are having tilak on our forehead, and we are chanting all over the world. It's only because of causeless mercy of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is the person behind spreading Krishna consciousness around the world. As Sri Mahaprabhu prophecy mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Prithvi te ache yat nagaradi gram sarvatra prachara hoive mora naam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my names will be propagated. When he said my names means also the reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came on this planet from spiritual world will be propagated everywhere, every town, village of the world. And this is happening because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted this. So, when Bhagwan has some greed or some desire, there's so many potencies who are ready to serve him, and they are infinite potencies, but 18 are prominent. Uh, just like Shri Krishna has his Haladini Shakti, Radharani, Shri Ram has his Shakti, Shri Sita Ji, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shakti is Shri Gadadhar Pandit. Who is Shri Gadadhar Pandit? As we sing Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advait Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakt Govinda. Before we start singing anything, we chant this mantra. We say Shri Krishna Chaitanya means Mahaprabhu. And who is Mahaprabhu? The combined form of Shri Radha Krishna. Combined form of Shri Radha Krishna. Or we can say Radha Krishna emanated from Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Either way. So Mahaprabhu is Bhakta Rupa, combined form of Radha Krishna. And then Shri Nityananda is Shri Balaram. Shri Balaram ji came as Shri Nityananda Prabhu. And then Sadashiva, he came, and Mahavishnu came as Shri Advaitacharya. And Shri Gadadhar Pandit is Shri Radharani. But only because of Shri Gadadhar Pandit, so important role in the pastime of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit is the center of all the attraction and center of all the pastimes of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? It is so difficult to give up one's nature. The mood and nature of Radharani is leftist mood, Vamya Bhav. But, as I said many times, her all activities are meant to please Krishna. Her decoration is meant to please Krishna. I'm not going into detail, then we don't have much time to elaborate on this. But in this Gaur Leela, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime, Radharani came as Shri Gadadhar Pandit, whose appearance we are observing today. But in Shri Gadadhar Pandit pastime, he's not manifesting or he's not even interrupting Mahaprabhu pastimes with that leftist mood, with that Vamya Bhav. Whereas she's very quiet here. She as he means Gadadhar Pandit, because all those came as male in Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime. Lalita, Vishakha Sakhi, they came as Swarup Damodar Ramanand Rai, male body. Shri Gadadhar Pandit, who is Radharani, also she came as male body as Gadadhar Pandit. Sannyasi, imagine. Why? Because Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas. So she need also to come to assist Mahaprabhu pastime. And then she came as Shri Gadadhar Pandit, who also accepted sannyas. Shri Gadadhar Pandit was also present in Navdeep Leela, where Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent 24 years in Bengal near Calcutta, this place called Navdeep Dham, 24 years. But after that, he went to Jagannath Puri and spent for 18 years there. So in that Navdeep pastime also, Shri Gadadhar Pandit has very important role, because after coming from Gaya, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when his father departed, he went to Gayaji and offered oblations, Shraddh ceremony, and he got initiation. He came to Navdeep and now he's totally changed. Very emotional. Day and night crying and weeping in separation of Krishna, and he wants to tear his chest apart. But only on the request of Sachi Mata, Mahaprabhu's mother, when she approached Gadadhar Pandit And Mahaprabhu used to ask Gadadhar, where is Krishna? And Gadadhar Pandit used to say, Krishna is in your heart. Shri Gadadhar Pandit pacified Mahaprabhu. And that's why Sachi Mata was so much confident and always requesting Gadadhar, only you can take care of my son. So there are many, many pastimes. The whole Chaitanya Bhagavad is full of those pastimes. But I'm just coming to the important point. Starting from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Gadadhar Pandit. Shri Gadadhar Pandit, specifically in Gaur Leela, Nilachal, Jagannath Puri pastime, he accepted Kshetra Sannyas. Kshetra means, sannyas means a promise, a vow that I'm not going to go out from this territory. And why he took this promise? Because he understood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always going to stay in Jagannath Puri. And therefore, I'm taking this vow, this sannyas, I'm not going to leave this territory so that I'll constantly get his association and his service. But all of a sudden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired, I want to go Vrindavan. And he don't want to take anyone with him. He don't want to take anyone with him. He just want to go by himself. But Shri Gadadhar Pandit also expressed his desire, I want to go to Vrindavan with you. Mahaprabhu didn't want it. Why? There are many reasons, primary and secondary. Primary reason, first of all here, primary reason is Mahaprabhu said, the primary reason is because Gadadhar is Radharani. And if he comes along with Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu will exhibit his Krishna form because he is Krishna. And when he sees Gadadhar as Radharani, what will happen? All those pastimes for which Mahaprabhu descend on this material planet to perform will all get finished there. So Shri Gadadhar Pandit is so difficult for him to give up the association of Mahaprabhu. He's holding that very hard for him. That's the reason Mahaprabhu didn't want it. Gurudev used to say, if Gadadhar Pandit go to Vrindavan, then Mahaprabhu manifests his Krishna mood. Then he cannot relish those for the reason he appeared on this planet. And secondary reason is Mahaprabhu said, Gadadhar, you cannot go with me to Vrindavan because you have accepted Kshetra Sannyas. You will get criticized and blamed by everyone. Shri Gadadhar Pandit start following Mahaprabhu. And if you remember when we were in Jagannath Puri, so there's Jagannath Puri, then Bhubaneswar, and the next stop is Cuttack. That's the outskirts, that's the border of Odisha. Shri Gadadhar Pandit followed till Cuttack. But Mahaprabhu said, no, you'll get so much criticized by Vaishnava community. Go back. Because you're a sannyasi. And Shri Gadadhar Pandit said, I can sacrifice thousands of Kshetra Sannyas, 1,000 times, just because I want to be with you all the time. No matter whatever I go through, any criticism, any blame, I'm ready to accept, but I can't bear the separation. I always want to be with you. Shri Gadadhar Pandit, on the request of Mahaprabhu, stayed back in Jagannath Puri. But Mahaprabhu gave what? There's a hill of sand dunes, and Mahaprabhu found a very tall deity called Gopinath, which became famous and even now famous as Tota Gopinath. Tota means, in Odia language, Tota means a garden. And Gopinath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found that garden, that deity from that garden, and said, "Oh Gadadhar, would you like to serve the life of my heart, uh, the Lord of my heart?" And Gadadhar Pandit said, "Of course." Mahaprabhu gave Gopinath deity to Gadadhar Pandit, and Sri Gadadhar day and night serving, day and night serving. So and so that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come every day to hear from Sri Gadadhar Pandit what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very fond of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sri Gadadhar Pandit is reciting, is speaking Srimad Bhagavat Katha. Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, all those wonderful pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu was so happy. And imagine who's explaining and who's reciting this. Who's Gadadhar Pandit? Radharani. Who knows Bhagavatam better than Radharani? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is the form of Sri Radharani. The glories of Sri Radharani. She is not explaining ordinary pastimes of Dhruv Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj. In those verses, she is adding the flavor of Brajabhav, Vrindavan moves. And Mahaprabhu always want to hear this more, more, more and more. Srila Gurudev used to say, Shri Gadadhar Pandit is just observing because Krishna has accepted my mood and my complexion. Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When Krishna accepts the complexion of Radharani and the moods of Radharani, he turns from black to golden complexion. So now Krishna is trying to imitate Radharani. So Gadadhar Pandit is not active role but inactive there, only to observe, means Radharani is observing how Krishna is imitating me, how he's trying to play without any interruption. That's the mood. So you see how difficult it is to maintain that. But she did, means Gadadhar Pandit did, only for the pleasure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu used to come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam Katha from Radharani. And Sri Gadadhar Pandit used to take out his utriya, this upper cloth of sannyasi, is called utriya, and he spread and gave his seat to Mahaprabhu to come and sit on that. Just like on the bank of Jamuna, Braj Gopis, they took out their upper cloth, their veil, and spread over for Krishna to come and sit on that. That means offering your heart to someone to whom you love. This shows so much love of Sri Gadadhar Pandit for Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu love for him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, Sri Gadadhar Pandit in separation, calling out the names of Mahaprabhu and serving Sri Tota Gopinath, Gopinathji, the only temple in the world where Krishna is sitting and playing flute. All over the world we see Krishna standing and playing flute. But Tota Gopinathji was also a standing posture, but because Gadadhar Pandit, in separation from his most worshipable, his most beloved, he, in separation, even though he was not old, but he started look like old, and he bent. But he, as Mahaprabhu told, you have to serve Gopinath. He was decorating the forehead of Gopinath with so many colors, putting on garland, and it was so difficult for him to garland the tall lady of Gopinath. Krishna being compassionate to receive the service from Radharani, means Gadadhar Pandit, Krishna sat down. Understand? From standing posture, he sat down like this, alti palti marki, and playing flute. The only one temple in the entire world. That's the glories of Shri Gadadhar Pandit. Just very small glories. So Gurudev used to say the entire God Leela is centered on Shri Gadadhar Pandit because Radharani is maintaining that mood and only observer how Krishna is manifesting. Oh, sorry, Mahaprabhu is tasting that moods and complexion of Radharani. Who established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar? Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the founder of our Gaudiya Math. In his childhood, I think his birth took place 1838. He learned all the scriptures. Not only that, he learned so many languages. Urdu, Persian, he was very fluent in English, Hindi, Bengali and Oriya. And he wrote so many books, so many literature in all those languages. Once upon a time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wanted to come from Bengal to stay in Vrindavan. And what was his qualification? He was magistrate in that era. Imagine, magistrate in 1800. So when he was coming to Vrindavan, he stopped by one temple, Tarkeshwar Mahadev. And Mahadev came in his dream. He was resting. Mahaprabhu came in his dream and said, don't go to Vrindavan. Why are you leaving Mayapur Dham? You have to discover Shri Mayapur Dham. So much service is there. And you going Vrindavan for your bhajan, for your sadhana. Hearing this order from Mahadev, Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood there is something. So what I am speaking today is one very basic, some little introduction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but this is not actually complete introduction of the complete glories. That's very, very deep, very deep. If you start discussing the books of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's amazing. Jaiv Dharma, Chaitanya Shikshamrit, amazing. If you start discussing the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all scriptures are present in this song. You see, you all know this song, right? Vaishnav. Amito Kangal, Krishna Krishna Boli, Dhai Tava Pache Pache. O He Vaishnava Thakura, Dayar Sagar, Eda Se Karuna Kori. Diya Pada Chaya, Shodo He Amare, Tomara Charana Dori. Each and every word and line in the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's some philosophy. He's just not like a poet. He just wrote whatever came in his meditation. No. There was some past tense in his meditation, and that's why he wrote this. For example, this stanza. Amito Kangal, Krishna Krishna Boli, Dhai Tava Pache Pache. What is the meaning? Oh Krishna, I am your beggar. Oh Vaishnav Thakur, I am your beggar. I run after you because Krishna is your wealth. I run after you because I'm beggar. Please give me, grant me some of that wealth too. Why Srila Bhakti Thakur wrote this? Because he was remembering one pastime. What is that pastime? The battle of Mahabharata. When Arjun, he wounded Bhishma, and for 52 days, Bhishma was on the bed of arrows. So many arrows. Blood was oozing from those wounds. And he was just lying on that bed of arrows for 52 days. Because his Ichha Mrityu means he can leave his body whenever he desires. He got these blessings from his father. So why he was suffering so much? Why he didn't left his body and is suffering so much with those wounds? Because he was waiting for Uttarayan. When the sun changes course, Dakshayan and Uttarayan. But that's not the reason why Bhishma was waiting for Uttarayan. But Bhishma was waiting for Krishna to come, because another name of Krishna is Uttarayan. Krishna who entered in the womb of Mother Uttara, where Parikshit Maharaj was taking birth. Krishna entered the womb of Uttara, and that's why the name of Krishna is Uttarayan. Bhishma was waiting for Uttarayan, means for Krishna. When Bhishma Pitama he saw Krishna, he was so happy and satisfied. He forgot all those pains. But Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, 5 Pandavas, they were lamenting a lot. And amongst all, Yudhishthir was lamenting a lot and saying, everything happened because of me. My brothers died because of me. My uncle, my Gurujans, they all died because of me. I am the cause of everything. I am the cause of everything. Fie on me, fie on me. He was lamenting and bitterly crying. Krishna is trying to pacify Yudhishthir Maharaj, trying to explain him. Yudhishthir, you are Dharmaraj. You cannot do anything wrong. Everything you done is righteous. Because you personified Dharma. Krishna tried all means to pacify Yudhishthir, but Yudhishthir was not satisfied. Then Krishna thought, okay, if I am not able to make him satisfied, let me take him to my devotee, Bhishma, because devotee can pacify devotee. They can relate. So when they came, all 5 Pandavas with Krishna, Yudhishthir touching the lotus feet of Bhishma, weeping and crying, saying, Pitamaha, grandfather, grandsire, Bhishma, please forgive me. I am the cause of your suffering. I am the cause of your suffering. This all happened because of me. This shows the humility of Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is so humble, taking everything on him, whereas no fault on him. But seeing Yudhishthira crying so much and lamenting, Bhishma said, Yudhishthira, no, you are not the cause. Our activities are the cause of our happiness and suffering. That was instruction of Bhishma to Yudhishthira Maharaj. As in Bhagavatam we hear, Tatyanukampa susmikshamano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakaha. No one is the cause of my suffering and happiness. Not my neighbor, my relative, my family member, or even Krishna. No. If we are familiar with the philosophy, we get out of this lamentation. But because we are not familiar with philosophy, we lament for, of course, we are attached to our family members, relatives. But because of lack of education and philosophy for spiritual matters, uh, we feel so much pain. But one who is learned never lament for anything which is temporary. You know? Bhishma told, "You are not. No one can be the cause of someone's suffering and love. So don't lament. It is our activities, my own activities come forth, and they are the cause of everything. So always keep this in mind." This was instruction to Yudhishthir, and Bhishma. He saw Arjun, and just by seeing Arjun, Arjun also was crying so much. But Bhishma said, "Arjun, you are very dear to Krishna. Krishna addressed you as Sakha. You address Krishna as Sakha. Who can be more dear to Krishna? Hmm. Krishna is your wealth. Oh Arjun, I am beggar. I am running after you. Please give me Krishna. Please give me Krishna." Because Krishna is dear friend, your Sakha. And Krishna is your wealth. Only you can give Krishna to me. Amito Kangal, I am beggar. I am begging Krishna from you. Please give that Krishna to me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he, in his meditation, when he was thinking about this or seeing this, he wrote this line in that Vaishnav Vandana. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro. Who said this? Bhishma said this to Arjun. Okay. This is only one example. But all the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, full of all Siddhanta and philosophy, all philosophy. He wrote more than 100 books. In our song book, there's so many songs, mostly in Bengali language. But if we read the translation part and we go in depth of understanding, we see all the scriptures. Bhagavatam is there, Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, the pastimes are there. From sadhak paksha, from perspective of a sadhak, and also from perspective of those who are perfect. देखिते देखिते भूलिबो वा कबि निज स्थूल परिचय नयने हेरिबो ब्रजपुर शोभा त्याचिदानंदमय. So beautiful song. The complete Madhurya Ras. And while describing Radha Kunda, Chintamani Ma Radha Kunda Tat Tahi Kunja Shata Shata Pravala Vidru Mayatharulata Mukta Phale Yavanatha. Glorifying Shri Radha Kunda. And even he is expressing his own spiritual identity. That I am Kamla Manjari, means the maid servant of Radharani from Golok Vrindavan. My age is 12 and a half. You heard this story? Once upon a time, he was with his wife, and midnight, wife heard some noise from the kitchen, and she wondered what is that. So when she went to the kitchen, what she saw, very beautiful 12 and a half year young girl cooking something in my kitchen. When wife saw this, immediately Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was in his spiritual form there means a Sakhi of Radharani cooking something for Radharani. Because that's the end of the Ras Leela. And divine couple Radha Krishna, they need to eat something. So Srila Bhakti Thakur was cooking for Radharani. When wife saw this, she was surprised. Who is this heavenly girl? And by seeing this, Srila Bhakti Thakur became so hesitant and he came back to his form as a male, her husband, Srila Bhakti Thakur. But he's not exposing this. He didn't reveal this to anyone because that's the nature of sadhus. They always hide. The bhajan is there not to publish, but is always there to hide. So even though they are very advanced, but because they are humble and they always hiding their love. If you love someone, you don't just go out and shout, "Hey, I love him, I love her." It's just always hidden in the heart. Because that's the treasure. And it is kept locked in the inner core of the heart. Srila Bhakti Thakur also writing in related to this, Sada Kande Sango Pane. I want to cry and weep in separation from my Ishta, from my worshipable Radha Krishna, but in seclusion, not publicly, in seclusion. That's the glories of Srila Bhakti Thakur. His songs and his books, it's like a novel, right? It looks like a novel. This book, Jam Dharma, how he made in a story form, but with so many evidences from Bhagavatam, from Vedas, from Puranas, from Ramayana, from Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, books of Goswamis, everything in just one. Everything in one. Once upon a time, Srila Bhakti Thakur, he was in train station with his dearest son, which is also a contribution of Srila Bhakti Thakur. Who is that? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. And because he was very renowned, he was magistrate, everyone knew him. Just by sitting there, he felt unconscious. And everyone came to help him. Oh, what happened? What happened? Sir, what happened to you? Because that was British rule in India that time. Sir, what happened? Can we help you? His favorite son, Saraswati, Vishnupriya, Krishna Bhakti, Jahiya, Vinod Sai Saito Vaibhav. Vinod, Srila Bhakti Thakur said, my opulence is my son, Srila Prabhupada. Although he had 10 children, but he never ever said, my all sons are like that. No, one who followed him 100% and who is a pure devotee. Vinod Sai Vaibhav. Prabhupada is my Vaibhav, my opulence. So Srila Prabhupada was with him and he told everyone, no need, don't disturb him. But actually what happened? Why he fainted? Because demigods, they took him to Swarglok. There was some confusion amongst them. Yamraj was there, Indra was there, Naraji was there, everyone was there. Imagine his personality, they took him because they were not able to understand one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Apiche suduracharo bhajte mam ananya bhak. That even a person, the meaning is, in essence, not word to word. Sadhureva mantavya samyak vyasthihi saha. The meaning is, if a person, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who surrendered to me, one-pointed surrender to me. If by chance he performed some abominable act, still considered him sadhu. Because of this quality, his one-pointed devotion to me. He don't worship any other demigods. He only eat my remnants. He only believe I am his worshipable. That's one-pointed in one sense. So anyone, but if by chance he perform any abominable act, still consider him as sadhu. So all these demigods were not able to understand how is possible. How we consider that person as sadhu if he served that character. But Krishna angrily saying there, because I am saying this, because I am very possessive about my devotees. So they were not understanding this point. And other point of confusion was, actually the confusion was not this verse, but the verse followed by this. Shipram bhavati dharmatma samvas sindati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pardash. Means Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Immediately that person becomes dharmatma, righteous. Now the confusion amongst them was not able to understand this, that the verse prior to this said apiche suduracharo bhajtemam ananya bhak, one who is one pointed devotion, one pointed devoted, sorry, one is one pointed devoted. And the next verse said immediately he will become dharmatma, righteous. So if anyone is already one pointed devoted to you, he is already dharmatma. Why you have to say in the next verse, if someone asks question to Krishna, why you have to say in the second verse that immediately he will become righteous? In previous verse, you already mentioned saying this. You mentioned this that he is one pointed devoted. Understand? That was a confusion. So Srila Bhakti Thakur reconciled this. He said he gave a commentary on this verse saying Krishna wants to say that anyone who is hear this carefully. Anyone who worship me one pointedness, if by chance accidentally he do something wrong, Krishna is saying still believe him, he's a sadhu, he's my devotee. And anyone who proclaims this, who believes this, who announces this, that still he's sadhu because he's one pointed devotee. That's why he's dharmatma. He'll get this degree, this credit of being called dharmatma, all righteous. When everyone heard this, Yamraj, who is Dharmaraj, Naraji, Indra, all demigods heard this commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they were so surprised. And they all said, understood, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is pure devotee of Lord. And what to speak of pure devotee? Who is Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Kamala Manjari means a very dear Sakhi of Radharani whose age is only 12 and a half. So, Mahadev, I'm just switching over different topics because, as I said in the beginning, there's so much to say in less time frame. So, I said earlier that how Shiva came in his dream and told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, please go back, you have to do so much from Mayapur Dham. And in this case, all demigods, they took Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur to understand the meaning of the verses from Bhagavad Gita. How glorious is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So why Mahadev sent Bhaktivinoda Thakur back and didn't allow him to go to Vrindavan? Because through Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Dham has to be discovered. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he came to Godrumdvip. You know, there are 9 islands in Mayapur. Godrumdvip is one of them, and divided by this river, Saraswati, and Ganga, 2 rivers together. One night, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, while he was chanting, midnight he was chanting Hare Krishna, he saw big light beam falling across the river in one spot. Srila Bhakti Thakur thought this is just my dream or something, imagination. But again, next day and next night, again he saw this. He understood there's something, some secret is there, which I'm not understanding by seeing this beam of light. But there is some significance. And because he was magistrate, next day he went there. And what he found out, so many Muslims were there. Srila Bhakti Thakur asked them, do anyone know the significance of this place? But he didn't reveal, he didn't say that I saw light. They said, no, 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 don't go there. There is a ghost. There is a ghost. Don't go there. Srila Bhakti Thakur never scared of any ghost or whatever. But he saw so many tulsi plants are there. He wondered, Muslims, they don't serve tulsi at all. They don't plant tulsi at all. And he asked, do you worship tulsi? Do you all worship tulsi? They said, no. It's a dilemma that whatever seed we put here, only tulsi comes out. Every seed, tulsi comes out. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he understood that, oh, this is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if I announce this, no one going to believe me because I am in a family life. I have 10 children. I am magistrate. Some material consideration, not his thinking, but people may think like that. So I must invite someone who's so renowned in 3 worlds. So he requested Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who was in Vrindavan, Brajmandal, at Suryakund, the age 140, very old. Gurudev used to say his eyelids were so heavy that it covers his eyes, and whenever he wants to see someone, his sevak has to take his eyelids up to see. He was so that old, 140 years. And he was famous everywhere, the best of all the Vaishnavas in that time. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur requested him, can you please come? I discovered the birthplace of Mahaprabhu which was lost, not known to anyone. He agreed to this, and his sevak, his servant, his name was Bihari Lal, used to carry his spiritual master, his Gurudev, on a basket and walking all the way. There was no trains in those days. Walking all the way from Vrindavan to Bengal is like 1500 kilometers. Imagine. And on the way, all villages and towns, amongst all villages and towns, the Vaishnavas, they greeted, paying obeisances, worshipped this great personality named Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So when he came to that spot where light beam was falling and Tulsi, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj, who was not even able to move because of his advanced age, 140, he jumped over the basket with his raised arms and chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, this is the birthplace, this is the birthplace, this is the birthplace. He announced this. But he instructed Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this is birthplace, but to make people understand, you should collect some evidences from the maps. And because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very influential, he ordered his subordinates to gather some maps. So map collected from Germany, from Britain, and according to what is mentioned in the scriptures, the location, the direction of the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, east direction, north direction from Ganga and this spot, he found out exactly that's the point. He just like Google Maps, he just comes there. You reach your destination. He found out from those maps. Plus, the great personality, Sri Jagannath Babaji Maharaj danced there at the age of 140. and announcing, yes, this is the birthplace. So everyone, today we go there, the entire world go there to have darshan of this birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Ayodhya is the birthplace of Sri Ram and Gokul is the birthplace of Krishna. So this place, Sri Mayapur Dham, which is 120 kilometers from Calcutta, is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the bank of Ganga. And we have headquarters, ISKCON headquarters, in acres and acres and acres, and all our centers there. Such a devotional place. So who discovered this? That's a great contribution of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In other words, Mahaprabhu wanted him to discover this. There are many contributions in number, but once upon a time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was chanting, and Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is Lalita Sakhi, the dearest friend of Radharani, as Swarup Damodar Goswami in Gaura Leela, he appeared in front of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw this effulgence, the divine effulgence, and Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur paid obeisances to him, and you see what he said. Imagine. Swarup Damodar Goswami said, Mahaprabhu told him, Mahaprabhu ordered him to inform you to make us a wonderful book called Bhagavad Ar Marichi Mala. Make a garland of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I think this, we don't have this book in English, we do have in Hindi. But it's an amazing book to learn verses. Wonderful. All like Jeev Tattvas. Suppose the title is Jeev Tattva, so wherever it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam or Jeev Tattva is all compiled in that heading, Jeev Tattva. Then Bhagavad Tattva, Abhideha, Prayojan, everything is just there. Imagine. Mahaprabhu told Swarup Damodar Goswami to tell Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Imagine. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so pleased to hear this. This is indication that all those books written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is actually ordered by Mahaprabhu to him. He is so dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So dear. The eternal associate. And that's why through Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whose appearance day today. Appearance day? Disappearance day. Yeah. Anyway, I always say appearance and disappearance is same. Right? Because of him, today we are hearing, and today we see Hare Krishna devotees everywhere in the world. We are seeing Radha Krishna temples, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu temples in the world. Because of, he is the origin of this. He is the founder of this. Plus, those philosophies we are hearing, we're reading those books about Thakur, we get to know. Otherwise, it's so difficult to understand it. And that's why I told, many times I told this. If Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would have not come on this planet, the entire world bereft of understanding of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, Gaur Dham, Gaur Nam, and Gaur Kam, established by him. In other days, we're going to hear more. Today, time over, and also I'm here. Wonderful house. So tomorrow we're going to hear about Gundicha temple, but I'm very sorry for day after tomorrow because I'm in Houston, the temple, and they have their annual celebration on that day. So they are very busy from morning till evening. They have Yajna and Kirtan, Harikatha, and all, so much to do. So Sunday will be no class. Don't worry, I'll continue later. Because Rath Yatra is a big pastime, it's not. So we can read from Chaitanya Charitamrita next week. the Rath Yatra pastime, and so that's tomorrow. The announcement for tomorrow and Sunday, no class. Monday may or may not, because that's my traveling day. It's a 5 hour drive from here. So if we get good internet, I will continue while in sitting in a car. If not, then go to Premanandi. Then see you Tuesday. Hare Krishna.